Somewhere on your phone, there is a budgeting app you downloaded with total conviction. You opened it every day for about 2 weeks. Then you missed a day, then a week, and now it sits on the third screen quietly judging you. You told yourself the problem was discipline. It wasn't. The real reason is far stranger. The people who actually build wealth are not more disciplined than you. Most of them think about money less than you do. They made one structural decision you haven't made yet, and before this video ends, you'll see how a decision like that, priced at roughly $6 a month, could have matched the median American retirement account. $6. Hold that number. So put your money goggles on, because the blind spot here is enormous. You've been taught that money is a character test. Save more, want it more, try harder. Every January you feel the surge. Every March it's gone. And every time the motivation fades, you add one more line to the private story that you're just bad with money. But what if effort was never the input? What if the whole game is decided by something so boring that nobody has ever made a movie about it? In 2001, economists Bridget Madrian and Dennis Shea studied what happened when one large company changed a single detail in its retirement plan. Before the change, employees had to fill out a form to start saving. After the change, they were enrolled automatically and had to fill out a form to stop. Same money, same investment options, same paperwork available in the same drawer. Participation jumped from 49% to 86%. Sit with that for a second. Decades of financial education, motivational seminars, and stern advice from parents had left half that company unprotected, and a checkbox did what none of it could. Richard Thaler, the behavioral economist who later won a Nobel Prize for this kind of work, pushed the idea even further with his colleague Shlomo Ben-Artzi. Their program was called Save More Tomorrow. Employees agreed in advance to save more starting with their next raise, so their take-home pay never visibly dropped and the increase never felt like a loss. Then the contributions escalated automatically, year after year. Human laziness, the exact force that empties budgeting apps, was now working for people instead of against them. By the early 2010s, the researchers reported that millions of Americans were enrolled in plans like this, adding billions of dollars a year in brand new savings. Not new discipline, new defaults, which raises an uncomfortable question. If a default can outsave decades of good intentions, what exactly has your willpower been doing all this time? Personal finance author Ramit Sethi built an entire book on that question, called I Will Teach You to Be Rich. His argument is blunt. You don't need a budget, because budgets are pure restriction, and restriction always loses to human nature eventually. You need a system. On the day your pay arrives, the money moves by itself. A slice goes to fixed costs like rent and bills. A slice goes straight into investments. A slice goes to savings goals, the vacation, the emergency fund, the future house. And a slice lands in a guilt-free pile you are allowed to spend on whatever you love, without a single apology. Once it's built, Sethi estimates the whole machine needs about 90 minutes of attention per month. Not 90 minutes a day. Per month. He also names the real enemy, and it isn't laziness. It's perfectionism. People spend months researching the flawless investment strategy, the ideal account, the optimal percentage, and while they research, they do nothing. Sethi's answer is what he calls the 85% solution. A system that is 85% right and actually running will beat a perfect plan that never starts. As he puts it, getting started is more important than becoming an expert. But there's a second twist coming, and it's the one that stings. Motivation isn't just unnecessary. It might be actively costing you money. Sethi tells the story of a reader named Mike, who proudly described his strategy. Every few months, Mike moved his $40,000 emergency fund to whichever bank offered a slightly higher interest rate. All that vigilance earned him about $300 a year. That's roughly 82 cents a day, in exchange for hours of research, transfers, and new account paperwork. Mike felt productive. Mike was busy. And that's the trap. Motivated money feels like moving money. So ask yourself honestly, how much of your financial activity is progress and how much is just motion? Markets have a way of punishing motion. Ben Carlson, who writes the finance blog A Wealth of Common Sense, pointed out just this month that the giant technology stocks that carried the market for the past decade are now trailing almost everything else in it. His reminder is simple. Markets are relentlessly cyclical, and the winners rotate. The motivated investor reads the headlines and chases whatever won last. The automated investor owns the boring, diversified whole and lets the rotation happen around them without lifting a finger. Now, the $6 you've been holding. Sethi cites the author Michael Batnick on one of the most quietly devastating statistics in personal finance. The median retirement balance for Americans between 56 and 61 is about $25,000. And that entire sum could have been reached by investing just $6 a month into a plain, balanced portfolio starting in 1980. $6. Coffee money, automated and forgotten, would have matched what half of an entire generation managed with willpower alone. That's how cheap starting early and never stopping really is. And that's how expensive waiting for motivation turned out to be. So here is what you do today, not in January. Open your banking app, the real one, and create a single automatic transfer scheduled for the day your pay lands. $10, $50, $100. The amount matters far less than the automation, because you can always raise a number that already moves on its own. Send it somewhere you don't look at every day, ideally a tax-advantaged retirement account. In the United States, that's a 401k or a Roth IRA, and wherever you live, there's a local equivalent waiting. Then close the app and go live your life. The system doesn't need you anymore. That was the entire point. Somewhere on your phone, that budgeting app is still waiting for a more disciplined version of you to log in. You can delete it now. The app asked you to show up every single day forever. A system only asks you to show up once. If this video showed you a blind spot, send it to the one person in your life who keeps promising that this January will be different. A new Money Goggles video every week.